Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long, long way from my home. A long, long way from my home. Sometimes I wish I had never, 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 never been born. Sometimes I wish I had never been born. Sometimes I wish I had never been born. A long, long way from my home. A long, long way from my home.
The Book of Sorrows.
The book of our life. It's often written right on our faces.
The scars, the wrinkles, the laugh lines, the frowns all tell the story of our remembrances.
A book of sorrows. Or the parts we just simply wish to forget.
Who makes the rules? Who decides our fates?
One person receives millions of dollars in the lottery and then loses their soul in the process.
One person gives of their life for others without counting the cost, losing their life in the eyes of the world, but gaining what? Well, maybe everything.
Well, I think I'm free. I know I'm free. I'm an American, for heaven's sakes. But often I don't feel free. I feel trapped, alone, afraid.
Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water.
How does one see all that is happening in our world and either not respond at all or just cry all the time?
There must be a way to be balanced with all the sorrows that not only happen to us personally, but with all the tragic, devastating events of our world.
Well, I know. Maybe we'll just all get together and have a cry fest.
Well, that doesn't sound very good. How about just stuffing it down and pretending like that we're not affected at all?
Oh, you mean like la 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 la, and then we just go on about our lives?
Yeah, but that does seem heartless.
Well, there is an option. And what is that option? Because with every hurricane, every flood, every shooting, are we not so affected that at times we feel we can't even carry on with our lives? We put our hearts into every robbery, every act of aggression, every misconduct of justice, every person who is hurt.
You do have a point, how would we live?
Well, exactly. So I have a suggestion.
I certainly hope so, because so far we have gotten nowhere.
Well, my suggestion is that every once in a while, and maybe here at church, or in our homes, or in our hearts, we do open that book of sorrows. And we recognize indeed there are terrible things that happen in our world and in our own lives.
I like this. Well, we don't pretend these things have not happened, but we set aside a time when we may light a candle, or say a prayer, or set an intention for peace and goodness in the world.
And then maybe write a check to our favorite charity, volunteer or donate to our preferred agency and that is doing good in the world, and then be ready for the challenges and the gifts that the day will present.
I like to think that by my understanding my place in all that happens in my heart and in the world, I know and am clear about what I can change and what I simply cannot.
People often need to make the mistakes they make because they need to make them in order to learn something. And often it may take many mistakes to have the lessons hold.
If we keep saving people from their own mistakes, we often also deny them the beauty and power of learning their own lessons.
The book of sorrows has to be opened every once in a while and looked at deeply, cleanly, forcefully, and with no fear.
Stuffed emotions are dangerous emotions.
And all the book of sorrows is going to tell us is what we've already known.
That we have suffered, that the world has suffered, and it will suffer again, and at some point after a good cry, a long meditation, a deep breathing session, we just have to get on with things, with our own lives.
The book of sorrows, once it has been acknowledged and honored, also needs to be put in its place.
You live in the land of sorrows with a very high price to pay.
So high, in fact, that many people never return from their experience with it.
Don't be one of those people, my friends.
Stay in the land of the living. Stay balanced.
After crying, joy.
After the wailing, peace.
After the terror, the storm, the gale, the horror,
there will be a party. A feast.
a time to rest and regroup.
Remember, my friends, even in Oregon, it never rains all the time. No one should ever live forever in the book or the land of sorrows. Life does go on. Yellow sheet? Yellow sheet? If any of you have been to summer camp, you know this song. If you don't, you'll know it quickly. And I think you gotta stand for this one, okay? I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where is it? Down in my heart. I've got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart today. I've got that peace of love that's better than knowledge down in my heart. Down in
joy.
Well, if there is a book of sorrows, my friends, shouldn't there also be a book of joy?
Yes.
In our lives, in our hearts.
You would think so. Well, if we can't find one on Amazon, let's try to write our own book of joy.
You bet. But. Could we not make it so corny?
What do you mean, corny? Is joy ever trite? Is joy ever commonplace? Is joy ever worn or stale? Or...
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just that sometimes when people are happy or joyful, it also means there's just a little bit of silliness and chaos.
Oh, I get it. You want to find a book of joy, but you want to have control over the hilarity of it all.
Won't happen, will it?
No. You should be glad about that. Joy should be surprising. Joy should be gratitude and full of glorious joy. Huge, toothy grins and smiles that never end.
Oh, so you're saying joy should be outbursts of laughter that hurt your sides and spill over from you to everybody around you?
Now you're getting it.
Oh, joy should be the beginning and the middle and the end.
No room for regrets. No place for maybes.
So after the sorrow, after the horror, in order for life to go on, there's got to be some acceptance, some peace.
And from the peace and acceptance, maybe even joy.
Maybe even joy.
People who live in the land of joy know some things.
They know they did not get to this place all by themselves.
They know that many, many people took time, patience, their own gifts, and freely and selflessly passed them on to them.
As we all know, it takes many people to build a church. It takes many people to build a city, even to build a building. It takes many people to build a joyful life.
Parents, teachers, friends, people who have challenged us,
People who have loved us unconditionally.
people who looked at us and said, "You're okay. I like you. You do well in life."
How could anybody ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? Everybody. How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. People who say things like that to you, they could change your life forever.
Nothing could ever be the same for you if you heard those words of love and then believed them.
Oh, my friends, the book of sorrows will probably open again and again in our life. But if we believe those words, we will know what to do with that sorrow.
you would be able to have people in your life you trusted to share with. And then together or alone, you could release the sorrow.
What a great gift that could be to yourself and to those around you, to be a freer, more open, more balanced you.
So today, honor all those people who have done so much for us and brought us to this place of who we are. I ask you now, during this last song, to say out loud the names of those people who have loved you, been influential to you, who have supported you, helped you be the person you are today. Let us write their names in our book of joy.
This might be a new song for a lot of you, but as we sing it, I know you'll learn it and you'll love it as much as I do. And as she said, just holler out the names when you feel the Spirit move you of the people who you know who have loved you and moved you from that book of sorrows to the book of joy. These are the people who throughout the decades led us and helped us to know where we have come from, where we are going, the people who helped us to grow. Standing before us, making us strong, lending their wisdom to help us along, sharing their vision, sharing their dreams, touching our hearts, touching our lives like a deep flowing stream. These are the people who joined in the struggle, the angry, the gentle, the wise.
Hear those names.
These are the people who called us to action, who called us to open our eyes. Standing before us, making us strong. Lending their wisdom to help us along. Sharing their vision, sharing their dreams, touching our thoughts, touching our lives like a deep flowing stream. These are the people who nurtured our spirits, the ones on we could depend. These are the people who gave us their courage, our mentors, our families, our friends. Are you hearing it now? Standing before us, making us strong, lending their wisdom to help us along. Sharing their vision, sharing their dreams. Well, we could have a discussion. Please love to talk, so bring it on. Any feedback?
Powerful. Wow. Very powerful.
We did meet the Phoenix box.
Nice Memorial Day.
The best ever.
Seriously, Andy, I thought I flew in for a wedding. Top notch.
Thank you. Yes, is the Book of Sorrows, the Book of Joy, and the Book of Q. You might come back and do that one.
Okay, that's what you do.
Any other